So do you see yourself being in the UFC one day?
Amen, I do. You
Yes,
know, it's been a rocky road
Yeah.
with EFC. You know, I won the belt and unfortunately never got it again. But I'm not going to give up. You know, I'm not going to give up. So you can give everything and you still not get it. You know,
Yeah.
so I believe that adversity introduces the man to himself.
You said there's a season to learn and a season to win.
Yeah.
And you went through a season of winning that got you the belt. You might be in a season of learning now, so that, again, I'm just reiterating what I was saying. You might be in a season of learning, so that when you get the belt next time, you keep it for longer.
I can't always be winning all the time. It's not always my turn to shine. Maybe I'm in a season that's preparing me for the win that's coming, but I'm not embracing that season. I need to embrace that now it's time for learning and not winning. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of the Catch Up Podcast, baby. It's so good to be here today. We're super excited. As always, I am your host today, Blake the Champ, joined by
Jay Smooth, a.k.a. Jared Smith.
And guys, before we get started today, we just want to send a massive shout out to Crocs for powering the show. We appreciate you guys so much. And then also, as you can see, we select the best equipment in the game. A big shout out to Rode as well for that. Today, we have a really special guest, a very interesting guest on the show. He is, in today's modern world, a gladiator, a professional athlete. He is an EFC superstar, and he's also a personal trainer and a business owner. We are talking about our very own Luke, the young gun. Michael, baby, he's in the building.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Yeah.
It's an honor to be here. You know, thank you so much for the warm welcome. And
Appreciate
it's awesome to have this platform to chat.
Fantastic, bro. Thank you for making time. I know as a professional MMA fighter, it's not that you have all this free time. You're training all the time. You're looking after your gym. You know, you have a lot going on. But as soon as we asked you about this opportunity, you jumped at it. And I believe that that is because you are somebody that is, number one, passionate about what you do. And number two, you definitely focus on your brand. You look after your brand very much, you know. So we want to jump straight into it, bro. I have so much respect for what you do. I'm a huge UFC fan myself. I watch MMA. I've tried to do boxing before, but it's not a career choice or a path that someone will just choose. You know, it's not a very common journey. You have to be quite brave to embark on this, to be willing to sacrifice your limbs and your face. So where did all of this start, bro? Like, at what age did you actually realize? How did Luke become of the young gun Michael? How did it start for you?
It's an interesting story, man. I remember I was about 14 years old. I was living in Goodwood then, because that's where I grew up. And I watched a movie with my cousin and my brother, Never Back Down.
Sure,
and I was like, I was watching this movie in my room. I was like, what is this MMA, mixed martial arts? And I also related to the guy, the actor in the movie Never Back Down, because he was getting bullied and stuff and he fought back. I really liked his story. But the martial arts and the MMA aspect of like training and the discipline and how he fought back, I was addicted. After the movie, I Googled nearest MMA gyms near me in Goodwood.
14 years old.
Jumped in and started training, but it was more traditional, like kickboxing, K1 when I started.
Okay.
And then I transitioned to jiu-jitsu, and then at about 16, 17, MMA.
Because people must understand, you know, MMA, mixed martial arts, there's a lot of different fighting styles in one as a combination.
Yes, 100%. And that's actually what interests me a lot. Is like, wow, you can learn all these different disciplines and you can finish a fight in such a variety of ways, which challenges you, you know, as a martial artist and as an athlete.
Yeah, and maybe being strong in one technique is not enough, because someone could get you where you're weak.
100%. So you have to constantly like strive for that all round game, you know.
Yeah.
Got to be good on the feet, got to be good on the ground, because each round starts on the feet, you know.
Yeah.
So you have to have an all round game. Otherwise, like you said, you get exposed.
Yeah.
Unless you find these guys who like really, really good at one thing. Like, but even them, they can also strike, you know.
Maybe like Alex Pereira.
Yeah.
You know, he's known for that knockout, that power.
Yes.
So,
but now he's learning to grapple.
Because he realizes.
He's learning to grapple. And a guy like Khabib as well, who dominate the guys on the ground. He also dropped one of the best strikers, Conor McGregor, with a punch.
Yeah.
So it just shows, like, it's testament to having that all-round game, you know.
Well, if you look at Islam Makhavic, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He is like the perfect all-round fighter.
Yes, he's proper. Flip. He can strike, he can grapple.
Wrestle.
You can't take him down.
They train together. You mean Khabib, same team.
Yes.
So he's like the
I think he's
protege.
a slightly I don't know what you guys think, but I think it's a slightly better version. What do you
Yeah,
guys
for
think?
sure.
Definitely more entertaining. I
Yeah,
think that
more
Khabib
entertaining.
spent way too much time on the ground,
Yeah.
and people would find that boring.
Yeah,
Even
a lot
though
of
it's still-
viewers. It takes a lot of skill and stuff, but it is for the average viewer.
Yeah.
It's not as exciting, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people
got
want
it.
the action.
Yeah, I got the action.
But you were mentioning Never Back Down. Also a big fan of that movie.
Really?
I loved it, bro. The story,
No,
I can't forget it. I think I
Yeah.
watched it like 10 times. so
I watched
take
it
us,
probably the same, bro. Like,
take us back to when you said that you could relate to his story
Yeah.
and him being bullied and so
Yeah.
on. Because we saw him get hit a number of times and he
Yes.
wasn't looking for trouble. Trouble came to him.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
at some point, your journey as a young man, you know, you have to deal with confrontation. You have
Yeah.
to learn what it is to defend yourself
And
and
fight
handle
back.
yourself. Exactly. So take us back to maybe, did you struggle with bullying at school? Did you-
Actually, I did, and
Okay.
hence me saying I related to the movie a lot. You know, I was bullied in mainly not so much primary school, but after in high school I was like grade 8, grade 9, and then that's actually when I started martial arts because I felt like this need to want to defend myself and fight back. You know.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I related a lot to that movie, and when I started training, I was like hooked, man. Because then I realized, hey, I can defend myself, but also I had such a passion for the sport. You know,
Yeah.
for like learning these different techniques and creating my own style as an MMA athlete.
And learning
And-
about the body as well?
Yes, learning about my body, my
Because-
health, you know, like because actually I never done any sport in school. I no sport at all. I never done rugby.
That's so interesting,
Yeah,
bro.
I've never done rugby. Athletics, I sucked. I mean, I tried, but but I wasn't good at all, man. And I am like 10, 12 years later, professional athlete, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for the journey, you know.
Meant to be.
Yeah, obviously meant to be, I do
Yeah,
believe. It's not
definitely.
like you said earlier, it's not an easy career choice.
Yeah.
It's extremely hard, you know. I believe it as its highest highs, lowest lows. When you win, you feel amazing. When you lose, you feel like broken. Literally, that's the best word to
And that's
describe
because
it.
of the effort you put in to prepare for the fight,
100%,
and how
yeah.
much it means to you.
Yeah. No, like if you don't put in the effort and you lose, then you sort of and you know it relates to life as well.
Yeah.
If you don't work for something, you're probably not going to get it. But if you work and if you put in everything and you still don't get it,
Yeah.
it's extremely. I'll be honest, it's extremely hard to accept.
Yeah.
It takes character to rebuild. But at the end of the day, you know, we all
Part
on
of the
this journey
package.
for a reason, and
Yeah. Comes
God,
with it, no?
and God has His plan, you know.
For sure.
Yeah, but it's not an easy career choice.
Yeah.
Great.
And I mean, Young Gun. How long have you had that name for? Where did it come? Where did it come from?
There's actually a time when that's gonna have to go to the wayside.
Okay.
But I was that's when I started. I was like 16, 17 years old, and I had a Muay Thai coach back then, Gregor Weichman. And he was like the young gun. I was only 18. I went professional when I was 19 to EFC. So he was
Oh,
like,
wow.
I made my debut at 19 years old. And
Damn.
he was like the young gun.
5 years. So you from 14 till
Yeah.
19. 5 years in the
years, yeah.
game when you were professional.
I was professional. yeah.
Sure.
So he was
That's
like, hey,
incredible.
Luke the young guy. And it just stuck with me, you know. But
Yeah.
listen, not going to be young forever.
Yeah. Were you ever one of those fighters that went overseas? A lot of people
Yes.
go to Thailand
Oh.
and they got trained there.
I went to America, yeah. In
Okay.
2015, I was 20 years old. I went to Albuquerque, New Mexico to
Nice.
train with Jackson Wink.
Got
Yeah,
it.
that was quite experience. Trained with the legend John Jones.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Seriously,
Met him,
you
yeah.
met John Jones.
Carlos Condit, Holly Holm, Diego Sanchez. I stayed there for 6 weeks in the dorms.
Sure.
So it was quite an
man.
experience, you know. It was nice. It was tough. You know, I built connections that
Yeah.
I still have today, which is I'm grateful for.
That's inspirational.
Yeah,
bro.
so with the sport being so hard and
Yeah.
unforgiving, I'm also grateful for it because it allowed me to meet good people.
Yeah.
Even like I'm sitting right here right now.
Yeah.
So
How did that opportunity come about? How did you end up going overseas? What was it for? Was it a specific camp just to improve your skills and so on? What kind of program was it?
yeah, I always wanted to sort of, because I was training in Cape Town for a while, like at that stage, about 6 years, 14 till 20, 6 years. And I was training to one of my sponsors back then, and they offered me the opportunity to send me over there for 6 weeks and train. And
Sure.
I mean, it was an awesome experience, just in life as well. You know, I
Yeah.
got to travel, learn more about myself there. Yeah, so it was really an exciting opportunity. I learned in that 6 weeks. I learned a lot, like
Yeah.
in terms of skill set and stuff, which I still implement in my game today. And it just shows that there is obviously the coaching and fighters over there have been there for a much longer
Yeah.
period of time than South Africa.
Yeah.
So they have certain ways and methods of doing things. And
Definitely.
yeah.
And to see it also on that level, the
Yeah.
elite level, because we must be honest, you know, MMA for South Africa, only became a big deal not
No.
too long ago because of the names that's in the sport that have built the titles and so
Yes.
on, like Utricus and all
Yeah,
of that,
yeah,
Don
yeah.
Madge and them. But a few years ago, it was quiet.
was
Yeah,
quiet,
it
yeah.
wasn't very big. So at that time, to see what it has become globally,
Yeah.
on the highest level possible, I think that's also truly inspiring. Like John Jones, for example, he's known to
Yeah.
be the GOAT.
Greats of all time.
Exactly,
Yeah.
UFC, bro.
Yeah.
till today. and you
Yeah,
got
it's
to
still
meet him.
today. So
Yeah.
to see that, back then, and now to also see how the sport has grown in South Africa, it's amazing to see, man. It's
And
really cool.
so you started when you were 19. You're now 29.
29, yeah.
So it's 10 years.
Yeah.
Not that it really matters too much, but I mean, how many fights have you had in the EFC since going pro?
Since going pro, 11.
11 fights.
Yeah, 11 fights.
So in 10 years, you fought 11 times.
yeah, it's
Okay.
yeah. So I haven't been that consistent as I would like to be. You know, a lot of like life happens as well.
Yeah.
You know, you go through things, you learn about yourself, you grow through challenges and adversity. Yeah. But I do believe, the best is yet to come.
But
But
I mean-
the next 10 years I'm gonna make count.
For sure, but I mean, you would
There we
have.
go.
I mean, you would have had more fights if you weren't injured for the 2.5 years. Correct.
True, yeah, correct.
So
Very
that
correct.
what injury was that?
So I actually tore my ACL in my left knee.
Oh,
Yeah, while training, so not competing, was in training. 3 weeks before I was scheduled to fight, and it was a bad tear. I needed surgery, so I got the surgery. I was out for like a year and a half, and then I started training again, and now I finally had my comeback fight like almost 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah.
get
So-
into that soon.
So
We're
it
gonna
has
get
to
into
be
that
easy,
soon.
man. Like you guys
Yeah.
say, it's not an easy career choice,
Yeah,
but
injuries, bro.
Yeah.
Injuries got me as well.
Yeah.
Like in the game of dancing, of
bro,
course,
can you imagine, bro?
you want to do what you love
Yeah.
for the rest of your life. But
Yes.
your body takes knocks along the way, bro. The things that we do with our bodies.
Yeah.
And I tore all the ligaments around my left ankle.
Flip,
and as soon
that's-
as that recovered, and then the tendon that connects my bicep onto my shoulder tore as well.
Did you
So
need surgery for your ankle?
I was supposed to get I didn't need surgery for the ankle. I was just in a moon boot for 6 months, and then I went
6
through
months?
the rehab and the recovery. Luckily,
months in a boot?
6 months
6
in a boot.
months?
6 months, bro.
Yes, that's long.
Because
bro.
in the beginning, I
Flip.
didn't know it was that bad. It
Yeah,
was
you
swollen
weren't
and-
you weren't disciplined with the moon
yeah,
boot.
I
eh?
wasn't.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to like not accept it, man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the thing, because I'm always active. We were filming a different TV show podcast at the time. I was coming with crutches, filming the stuff.
Never give
Didn't
up,
want to
bro.
give up, bro.
Yeah.
And then after that recovery, the shoulder hit, and I think the second one knocked me hard because of the time being inactive. You know
Yeah,
what
so
it's
mentally
like.
it
The
you are.
longer, exactly, you start to become a bit more comfortable,
Yeah.
a bit more complacent. You
Yeah.
start making other plans to continue in other areas of life. So the second
Yeah,
one knocked me
true.
hard, but now I'm on my comeback, which is
And it's
right.
interesting what you say. You start making other plans
Yeah,
for life,
yeah,
because
because
life happens,
Must
and
go
you
on.
have to carry on no matter how you feel, no matter what happens to you. Like as someone who's active and
Yeah.
you using your body like
Definitely.
for your career, you have to go on.
and you're a business owner yourself. You
Yes,
you run your
yes.
gym.
Yes, and that's actually something I started when I got injured. Obviously, I saw the gap for the opportunity. I wasn't active last year. Yeah,
Very smart.
Yeah, yeah.
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 At the end of the day, you could sit at home and cry about it,
Yes.
or you can make a plan
Yes.
because you learned so many more things during your time of becoming a professional athlete.
Yes.
You're not one-dimensional. You can't only be Luke, the successful fighter. That's
True.
it. You've learned so many things, so you are able
Thank
to
you.
adapt, bro, and
Yeah.
apply yourself. And look at what your gym does for so many other people. That's what I
Yes.
love, bro.
And you know what? That's the biggest thing for me. I was telling my wife the same thing. Like how many people, just like I mentioned now, through competing in MMA and training, how many people I met. Same with the business and the gym. How many people I've met and how many people come to me and say like, "Wow, this training, like the way you help me, it really helps me in other aspects of their life." And I'm like, "Wow," and it's something it's a lesson, and it just shows how everything is sort of like planned and orchestrated by what I believe God.
Beautifully, bro.
Yeah.
Beautifully
100%.
put.
You're giving them more than money.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
there's no value to it. Yeah.
I wanna jump back to the fact that you just said your wife now.
Yes.
Because Chelsea, your wife.
Yeah. What a coincidence.
Like, bro, being married in this game, having a partner that has to support you in
Yes.
what you do can't be easy.
Yeah, I know it's tough.
If I think about what my mother told me when I tried to get into fighting when I was young,
Really?
yeah, the women in our lives that love us, they don't want to see us
Yeah.
get hurt, bro. So how is it in terms of like, being married and supporting you and so on in your career?
It's been awesome. So we actually got married just shortly after my injury. In my wedding photos, I was actually in my cast.
Never give up.
Yeah, so that was that's quite a memory. But now she's really stuck by me, through the hardest times, through my rehab, through opening up the business, through now the big comeback fight, you know. So she's been my anchor, and I'm truly grateful for her. But Joe, in terms of getting the cage, I think she's the most nervous, along with my mom.
Yeah.
But
She watched the fights?
She was there. Yeah.
And you fought in Joburg, huh?
Yeah, fought in Joburg.
Is that where all the fights are for EFC, hey? In Sandton?
Since COVID, eh?
Okay.
Yeah, they haven't managed to have a show in Cape Town since COVID. I remember the last one was I think April 2019. So 5 years.
I think I was at that one at Grand West.
Grand West,
I was at that
I mean,
one.
I don't know why you're not coming back.
They must bring
it's
it
a
back.
pity, bro. Like,
Shout out EFC.
Yeah,
Come
EFC,
on. Bring it back to Cape Town.
Bring it back to Cape Town,
We're
bro.
hungry this side,
Let
man.
the locals compete.
Best
And
crowd.
another title shot for our
Yes,
champion.
has to be.
Let's go.
Has to be.
But I mean, I don't know if you can answer this. I'll just ask you anyway. Does the EFC pay you guys okay, or do you depend on just sponsors?
I'll answer that. No, they don't. You have to. If you don't have sponsors, you'll have to either be fighting like every month, which is not physically and mentally
Possible?
Not possible. You know, maybe you can have like a 3 fight in a row, but you're not going to be able to maintain that.
Can you give us an idea, just a rough estimate of how much an EFC fighter could get paid? Are you allowed to do that?
Yeah, around a title fight or like prelim.
Just give us both.
Yeah, then we
Just
can
an
have
idea.
perspective.
I would say the max you're going to get is like 50 grand.
50 grand?
Yeah.
For a
And the least you're going to get is like 5 grand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, so
you're all right. You can't sustain a professional career.
Like, I went to Joburg for 4 weeks for this last fight to like climatize, and my coach is based over there. I went to like just prepare there, and it cost me more than what I got paid, you know. So without sponsors like World Sports Pay, I wouldn't be able to
make it happen.
do it full time and with my business as well, you know.
Yeah, but I
obviously
suppose
they have facilitated.
Maybe sorry to cut you word, bro.
No.
That's probably how it all works together. You know, because I
Yes.
don't think that EFC would be able to pay fighters a monthly salary. It just doesn't work because
work
of
the way,
if you look at their output and the events that they're having, it doesn't add up. They don't make that amount of money. So
Yes.
the sponsors get what they want also in terms of advertising because you active and you representing them.
It's true. And in their defense, you're right, because you know, they're still new. You know, I think EFC's been around like 15 years, maybe. It's compared to UFC, it's
Still very young.
It's very young, half.
Yeah.
Half the time. So, you know, in their defense, they obviously can't afford it as a business.
Yeah.
So that's why most athletes are doing something else.
Yeah. And
if they don't have sponsors.
You're one of those athletes, bro, to be a brand ambassador of World Sports Betting. I mean, that's incredible, you know, that they chose you to be an ambassador. You pulled up in the whip or so. They fully kitted.
Thank you, brother.
Bro, how did that even like come about? Because I know being an athlete, it's not easy to get sponsorship.
Yes.
You know, so how did that happen for you?
So yeah, you're right, man. It's not easy, especially you can have a sponsor, but to have that like consistent relationship with them, like I'm blessed to have for like 5 years with World Sports Pay, and it's a blessing. So how it started was actually before COVID. I was scheduled to fight in Cape Town, that last event I mentioned now.
Yeah.
And I just reached out, you know, I was looking for sponsors for my fight, and I reached out, I emailed them, they responded like immediately. And I met up with them, and since 2019, 5 years, it's just been a solid relationship, you know,
Nice.
From both sides. You know, I've shown my loyalty towards them, and they've shown me so much support and loyalty, you know, allowing me to basically live my dream, and also help me open up the Performance Institute. You know, that was all by them. So I'm super grateful to World Sports Pay.
Yeah, we also, like, we always talk about this. We're appreciative of working with brands that allow us to do the work that we do.
Yes.
Because we get to change lives, you know, like, for example, Crocs with a school tour that we do and so on.
Incredible.
It's such a powerful combination to come together, you know, like teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes.
And it's great that they can recognize you for your skill set, but then that you can also, as a professional, learn how to represent them the best way possible.
Amen,
I think
brother.
it's a two-way streak, bro.
I agree. And it's powerful what you say with regards to how like people impact our lives so we can impact others.
Yeah,
for sure.
You know, same with World Sports Pay, like they've impacted my life with the Performance Institute, the gym, and as we mentioned earlier, directly I've impacted other lives.
So many
and it's
countless.
a trainee effect.
Yeah.
It's powerful, you know, and I do believe for me during the season of my life, it's a big lesson, like in terms of just being there for others and helping others. It's taught me a lot about myself, and
sure.
Yeah.
I'm extremely grateful for it.
I love it, bro. Honestly, we can feel your heart and the passion that you have for what you do. And I hope I'm not cutting you off here, bro, but I want to jump into the juice, man, if you don't mind. Because recently, we all witnessed your last fight.
Yeah, I was going to
And
go
we
there
all
too.
had the same opinion that you were supposed to win that fight in the first round.
round.
Now, I know you as the humble athlete that you are, You're not gonna sit here and complain about something that's in the past, but bro, that must be heartbreaking to have put in so much time and effort to come back from your injury after 2.5 years or 2 years and a bit. And now you finally get your chance at the fight, and here you give it your all, and everyone agrees that you should have won. And now you're sitting with the result that you're not satisfied with. Tell us about that, bro.
Listen, I've lost before. My last loss was like 2019, so quite a while ago. And you know, I recall, I can reflect on that loss. I accepted it pretty easy. I was like, I took it on the chin. I got back to work. This one's a bit different, you know, because I feel like I do feel like I've done enough, you know, in round one. So to now accept the result is harder. You know, it has put me in a bit of a slump. You know, especially after being out for 2 years, working so hard on my knee to come back, putting in so much work, you know, going out there, performing the way I believed I could in round one, like really dominating and like smashing him. I believe
Big
it's a
time.
10-8 round, you know.
Yeah.
And he wasn't defending himself. And then I sort of, because I was out for no excuses, but I was out for so long, got tired. Round two, he caught me. But I don't believe this should have been a round two. You know, I feel like I've done enough. You know, lots of referees see it that way. So listen, it's extremely disappointing. But I have to look at it from the point of that's another challenge to overcome.
Yeah.
You know, and
Part of your story.
it's part of my story, and there's another lesson in it. And I got to trust God. You know, and I'm proud of my performance after 2 years out of the game.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, he's been more active. He's experienced. I do believe I showed I'm the better fighter. And again, I'll take the loss in the chin. But I do believe I'm the better MMA athlete. I just want my opportunity to show it again. So EFC, make it happen, man. Let's
There
go.
we go. Please make it happen. We all want to see it. I think that's important also. Like, even though you go through a situation where the result wasn't what you wanted, you have to also understand what you put in, and you believe that your performance was good enough, you know, and that's more important than other people telling it to you.
Yes.
Because could you imagine everyone was saying you should have won, but you don't feel great about your performance? You probably wouldn't have the same confidence here today.
Yes.
But with confidence like that and understanding of your performance that you have now, even if people didn't agree, you would know to yourself, which is the most important thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I believe that self-belief helps us, especially with a comeback, because a moment like this can also make you quit. It can also, after such
I've
a
had
long...
those moments, I'll be honest.
the
Last
thoughts,
3 weeks.
when the gogas creep in your brain.
Who was I there, bro? Especially because you put in so much, you know.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
then you're like, no ways. Like, I've never come this far. To only come this far. I'm only 29, you know.
Yeah.
And like, after a performance like that, you know, it goes the other way as well. If I went out there after 2 years and got submitted in round one after a minute, I would probably change my whole approach and
for sure.
and perception on it, you know. But now I'm like, no, I went out. I felt great in round one, landing those strikes. I was like, this fight's over. So I want that feeling again, you know. I want to go out there and come back from this.
Yeah.
And use it. And there are things I can improve on, obviously.
Yeah.
In reality, I should have been able to do it again in round two.
Yeah.
So these lessons to be learned, and I'm going to implement those lessons.
But I mean, that fitness you can only get from fighting.
That's true. That's true.
So
Yeah.
it's not like you
2
can
years
get,
out, yeah.
for sure, dude. And I mean, as
So
I was saying,
felt it in that corner, flip.
I can imagine, dude. As I was saying off camera to you, I'm like, you know, for me, not that I know much about fighting, but life.
Yeah.
When you get knocked off
Similar.
the horse, you got to get you can't wait too long,
Yeah.
because obviously you said you're in a slump, you haven't been training, and that's normal. That's normal. You give yourself the space to feel that, but it's about get back on the horse.
Yeah.
Let's get going.
Yeah, defeat
Sooner
the state
than
of
later.
mind.
100%,
Yeah,
bro.
can't stay too long down.
No, because then the longer you stay there, the harder it's going to get
to get back. Yeah,
to get
you're
back,
right.
bro.
No, but you're right with that. With brother, you're right. 2 years out the game, that's a different type of experience and fitness. You know.
Yeah. Being inactive.
But I mean, the way you
definitely
smashed him in the first round after 2.5 years, can you imagine you get back on the horse, you fight again?
3 months' time.
3 months' time, bro, like in a year's time, you're going to smash him or whoever's in front of you.
Exactly.
4 rounds, 5
Amen,
rounds,
yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Definitely
so it's all a
gonna
learning
happen, bro.
experience, you know.
Yeah.
I can see also you have a sense of peace, which I like, you know, that you're not stressed, you're not worried about what's to come, because you know based on
I'm
the
not worried
work.
what's to come,
Yeah,
true.
you're based on the work that you know you're putting in, it's gonna pay off. It has to pay off. The dots have to connect at some point. And the
That's
comeback, like the comeback would
It might
mean
not connect immediately, but
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're content with how the
powerful.
story is going to play out.
Yeah.
What I want to speak about is the camp, because I
Yes.
think that there's a lot for people to learn also as a professional fighter, you know, preparing for a fight like this. You guys train months, weeks leading up to the fight. And I know that process is quite hardcore. How does it look like, just to teach us and educate us in terms of your camp? You know, you have a coach. Do you have more than one coach? How does it work? How does your schedule look more or less?
Diet.
Just if you can give us a like understanding of that.
So this camp for my last fight, I started actually earlier because I was out for so long. So I wanted to like really maximize the time I have spent focused. And I also knew about the opponent since last year. So I started in December. I trained right through December. So the first like, I would say 8 weeks out of a 4-month like preparation. Normally it's 8 weeks only, but like I said, I doubled it up for this fight.
Yeah.
So I worked a lot of like strength and conditioning, just trying to get strong as possible, fit, so I can enter my fight camp already in shape. And obviously I was still like finishing my rehab on my knee. So I was just like trying to get strong as possible, you know. And then I started in January with like specific MMA training. So I was already fit and strong. I was grappling a lot because I knew he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So I grappled a lot I got some good guys in at my gym in Cape Town for the first 4 weeks of the last 8 weeks. And in the last 4 weeks, I went to Joburg. And that was where I like put all it together, like full MMA sparring, pick up the intensity. So like less volume, but more intensity, trying to like reach that peak for fight night. And yeah, the preparation was good. So
you had to adjust in Joburg, the breathing.
The
altitude,
the stuff there, bro. Like,
hardcore, bro, I
yes, the
remember.
first week. Actually, 10 days. It took me a bit longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a bit longer. But yeah, in terms of fight camp, like normally 8 weeks, you know, you try to get as fit as strong, in my opinion, in the first 4. And the last 4, well, still doing skill training, and the last 4, like really just honing a game plan and making sure that you're sharp mentally and physically.
And eating, what's the eating like?
The eating, try keep it as clean as possible. Obviously, it depends on how much weight you have to lose.
Okay.
For me, I'm not a big middleweight, you know, but I do believe I'm strong enough to compete with the EFC middleweights. So, like, I had like 4 kilos to cut. So I just cut that in fight week. Actually, I ate clean, but not like too strict, you know.
Okay.
I just cut like 4 kilos water.
I was going to ask you if you have a problem with cutting weight, because we watch a lot of it on UFC.
Yeah,
on
some
TV.
of them are.
Some of the guys are like flow, you know, like in the bath. And
I know a lot of guys who cut a lot of weight, man. Like, I'm not going to say it's bad or good, because at that level, like UFC level, most guys do it. So you sort of have to do it to compete against them.
I think it's unfair. I think your weight that you stand on the scale with, you should fight it.
Me too. I do believe that too.
Because some oaks cut so much weight and they get in the ring and they're freaking massive. I think that's not fair.
Yeah.
But that's because they dehydrate and then they rehydrate.
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Okay.
Like for me, my aspirations to fight UFC, and I'll definitely fight 77 kilos.
So
And
that's Walter.
Walter. And I'm like 89 now. So it's like 12 kilos.
But you're quite tall, eh? On TV, I thought you were shorter. No offense, dude.
Yeah, no.
You're quite tall. When you came in here, I was like, yo.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
so I'm not big enough for middleweight. It's like international level, you know.
Okay.
But you know, you have to cut that weight if you at that level.
Bro,
you do have to.
I also believe that there's no weight class that stands out from another. You bring the shine to the weight class. You know what I mean? If you're there to dominate and take over,
yeah,
you
there's
bring the
been
action.
smaller guys in the divisions who's won.
Definitely. Look at also the way Conor McGregor did his thing.
Yeah.
He started out super light and then he built his way up.
Even
and
Israel Adesanya, I don't think he cuts a lot.
Yeah.
You can see it, yeah. Yeah, a guy like Dricus I know cuts a lot.
Yeah.
But
But
Dricus is
he looks
big.
huge
Yeah,
in the cage.
Apparently he walks around like 100 kilos and he fights 84. So that's just to give you an example.
But I can, dude. He's tall and
that's why I say I'm not a middleweight for UFC level, you know.
I
But
see.
when I got the offer for EFC middleweight, I spoke to my coach and he was like, "No, these guys, you can compete against him." And I showed that in my last fight.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't strong at all. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
You know. And he's a middleweight for years, like 10 years. JB Kruger.
So you need to also weigh it up, basically.
Yeah, you got to weigh it up. And also, like we mentioned earlier with EFC, why must I suffer to cut so much weight if I'm not getting paid that much, you know?
Exactly.
For
Doesn't
sure.
make sense.
But I want to come back to the slump thing. Like you said in the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks after the fight, you've been going through stuff. Like, talk us through some of the thought processes you've been having with yourself. What does that look like? You don't have to.
No. I'm more than happy to open up, man. I just like the question. No, it's been. I'll be honest, man. It's been dark. Listen, it's like after such a long time off and then performing, and literally, like my friend, one of my close friends told me as well, you were seconds away from winning, and that
100%, dude.
that's like,
We all saw that.
man, that's like, yes, it's tough, bro. But you know what? I've had those like bad thoughts and like, you know, oh, when am I going to fight again? Now I have to like rebuild again. So it's been dark and hard. But each day I show up, you know, I get back up. You know, I'm still blessed.
Yeah.
I got my business, I got my marriage, I got close friends.
Yeah.
I get to do things like this.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still blessed. So I'm just focused on counting my blessings and being a blessing to others, you know.
Amazing,
because
bro.
there's more to life. At the end of the day, there is more to life than fighting.
Yeah. Gotta give you the trumpets for that one, bro.
Thanks, brother.
Coming
Yeah.
back to just being grateful humbles us and just keeps us happy, you know, keeps
Yes.
that joy in our heart.
Yes.
And things sometimes don't work out the way we maybe planned to, but we have a lot going for ourselves.
yes,
We're blessed in many ways.
Amen, brother.
And as a fighter, bro, do you have other hobbies? Anything else that you enjoy doing, you know?
Yeah, I like, especially living in Cape Town. I like exploring Cape Town, you know, going out, having lunch with good friends, my wife, you know, just having good times. In terms of hobbies, I like hiking. I never hiked in a while, actually, but I want to get back into it. Something I do enjoy. Because I was living in Joburg for a bit. But now being back in Cape Town, you realize, hey, can't take this place for granted, eh?
Yeah,
It's
true.
beautiful.
Too much beauty,
So there's
bro.
so much to do here.
Yeah, on
you
our
know?
doorstep.
On our
literally.
doorstep, yeah.
Everywhere,
So-
the front of the house, back of
Yeah,
the house.
exactly. But when we live here, we take it for granted.
That's true.
Because Joburg is another ball game.
And did you move to Joburg because of your career?
Yeah,
Because of the
because of
fighting?
MMA,
Because
yeah.
the opportunities are there? Like you
Yes.
said, the fights are there and so on.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, even with like sponsors and EFC, the opportunities did sort of open up a bit more for me when I was there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think just because the sport started there, you know.
Yeah.
But now that I'm able to settle back in Cape Town, have my business here, train here, I'm blessed for that as well, you know, to be in my hometown.
100%. And
Yeah.
bro, you know, being a champion, I believe very much in passing on the baton. I think that you've learned a lot, and especially experience, you know, for up and coming fighters. Do you train any up and coming fighters?
At the moment, there are a few in the gym who want to, and yeah, you know, I see some talent.
Young
There's
prospects?
yeah, I see some talent. There's actually one guy, 18 years old, Angolan guy. He moved down to Cape Town to study, and he found my gym and he's been training there. 18 years old, but the guy can grapple, man. Like, and he wants to do MMA now, so he wants to get into MMA. So I've been helping him a bit. So he's really talented. I mean, so young but so talented. So yeah, there are a few guys. Obviously, like we said earlier, it's a tough career choice. You have to be all in,
For sure.
you know. So I'm obviously not also going to invest in people if they're not,
Yeah.
because I'm still an athlete myself.
Of course.
you know, so
You're still running your race.
but if they're serious, I'm more than willing to help, and they can
Nice.
train alongside with me.
And your team, how does it work? Like, because what we see on TV, you know, I'm trying to learn as much as possible with you today. What we
Yes,
see on
course.
TV is when you go sit down on the stool, you got someone with an ice pack on your back, there's someone giving you water, someone shouting at you.
Yeah,
Like,
like
how
lots
does-
of screaming. My last one.
Yeah. So
Yes.
who's that team? Who are those people? And how does it work? As a professional fighter, are you responsible to pay them, or how does the
Yes.
business work?
So my team, my head coach, is Tiller Barner. I've been working with him since 2020, since I moved to Joburg. So he's like the head coach. So he like oversees everything. He's the main guy I think you saw talking.
Yeah.
And then my other teammate, he was giving me the water. Ayanda, he also fights EFC.
Okay.
In Joburg. They're based in Joburg though.
Okay.
And then I had another boxing guy who trains at my gym, Shepherd. And then he's a boxing coach. And who else was there? Oh, there was another teammate I know, another EFC fighter I know in Joburg. So it was 4 of them.
Okay.
Because for a title fight, you're allowed 4.
Okay.
And yeah, they all played a good role, you know.
And you
In
all,
between rounds, they were just like, do this again. You need to do this again. Smash him again.
and you all
I tried.
you definitely
I
tried,
tried,
bro. Elbows and all.
Yeah.
So
But
like,
yes, to answer your question properly, that we do, as the athletes, we do hire them and we
Okay.
do seek the best coaches
Okay.
for us, you know.
Cool. I was checking. I thought like in the game, you know, on the come up, maybe they supporting you on your journey. And if one of them had to be fighting a big fight, then you would go and support them.
Yes.
But it actually works where you would choose. You basically the business owner.
Yes.
And you will decide who you want to employ on your team.
Yes.
To help you prepare camp for your next fight.
Yes,
Like that.
exactly.
Okay.
Precisely that, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, it's so
Intricate game, no?
It is an intricate game,
Oh.
yeah, and you have to be smart about the people you surround yourself with.
For sure.
That's very same like with life.
Yeah.
for
You know,
sure.
you become who you surround yourself with. So
100%.
you know, they all have to be on the same page. They all actually have to want it as bad as you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's super important for any
And
like
now-
young athletes who's starting out now. They have to have the right team.
And know how to bring the best out of you.
Yes.
I think that was very
That's true.
important. I had my dance coach at the time when I went to World Champs for the first time. She could bring the best out of me. You know,
In that moment.
we myself and Marcus always talk about this. Is you don't want the person that's telling you everything you're doing right.
Yeah.
You want to know
Yeah.
where you're
Yes.
going wrong and who can bring that fire out, because she would challenge me. I would go sit next to her and we'll have a chat, and then I'll prove to her that I can bring
Yeah, you
this
wanna
out.
show her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that would then turn into good
Yeah.
results. So
Yeah.
you need that, bro.
Yeah.
I don't like
I can
getting
relate to that as
praise
well.
and- Yeah.
It's similar. I can relate to that. Like when you really connect with the coach and he's
Yeah.
there, you want to show him.
Yeah.
Or in the competition, you want to show him that you're going to implement what
What
he
he-
just told you.
Yeah,
know?
and the compliments all good and well. You know, it comes with the results and you working hard and so on. But I don't think the compliments will stretch you, will make you grow as much as
No.
someone saying
honest
to you,
feedback,
There
yeah.
we
The
go.
honest
You're
feedback,
lacking
yeah.
there. You can improve.
Yeah. Because if you surround yourself with people like just telling you you're great the whole time, you know, you're not
Not gonna-
you're
Not going to elevate you
There's
for
always
sure.
people better.
But I mean, I'm sure in your
especially in such a sport.
for sure. I think, and in your career, I'm sure there's been fights where you have been maybe technically losing, and you've come back and win.
Yeah.
And won
that
the.
actually happened.
So talk us through that mindset where you realize in the fight that you might be down. What do you say to yourself to like say, okay, I need to come back here, bro? There's got to be self-talk. What do you say to yourself?
Yeah. I actually relate to that when I won the bout. There was a similar situation where I made a few mistakes in the beginning of the fight, and then there was a moment where the referee was like restarting us again, and I looked at my coach, and he was like, "It's now or never. You know, you're gonna lose if you don't do this now."
Yeah.
And that did switch me on
For
Took
the
him-
belt?
Yeah, for the belt.
I didn't watch that fight. So was it what round was it?
Round
Talk-
one as well. He hit me behind the head, so they restarted the fight, and then but in that moment, like there was that split second of like, okay, I have to do it now. And that's
And you smashed him in the first round.
Yeah, first round. Yeah.
Knockout.
And that time, this last fight, I had that as well in between rounds, but yeah.
I've got a new name for you, Luke First Round Michaels, because you nearly smashed the other guy in the first round,
Yes,
bro.
that's right,
Come
exactly.
on.
That's
Yeah,
not a bad name, no first round.
first round.
Heavy pressure though. No?
Yeah, heavy pressure. Yeah.
Damn, bro.
But
So-
this was actually this last fight was actually the first time I went past the first round in a while. So I mean,
it suited.
I'm
Also,
also grateful for the experience.
Yeah.
You know, you also learn about yourself sitting down there. You just gave everything, and you get back up and go again.
Yeah.
You know, so
I don't think there's anything more tiring than fighting,
yeah,
because emotionally you're also drained.
yeah. It's not physical; it's mental.
You
yeah.
because your body's conditioned.
Yeah,
for
we
it.
train for it.
Yeah.
I train like 3 times a day, you know.
But
mental.
your mind,
Yeah,
is,
your mind,
is
bro.
thinking, and you're trying to focus on this guy and what he's gonna do, what's his
and all the
habits.
people screaming and shouting. It's
Can you
crazy.
hear them? Or you sort of dialed into the actual guy?
To be honest, it's funny you asked that because I don't really hear them, no. But
Okay.
this last fight, yes, this flip, man. Like when he had that choke in round 2, I heard everyone scream, like all these fans screaming, and I was like, flip. Yes, I was like, yes, this. And I
And-
didn't want to tap, man.
and I
But I was
mean-
gonna go out.
Yeah.
I was gonna go out. Like that's the only time I've ever heard like the fans. If his fans were like going mad because he had me in choke, you know?
Of course,
And when I was hitting him, my fans were going mad.
Yeah.
So I did in those high and low moments, you do hear them. Yeah.
So you're like coming and going basically
yeah,
because you dialed in
Yeah.
while you fighting.
I mean, when I was finishing him, everyone was going crazy. So I was like,
yeah.
I thought, yes, it's a crazy feeling. Like I said earlier, highs, lows, you know. So
I'm say it again, bro. I have so
Yeah.
much respect for you, honestly.
Yeah, definitely.
As
bro.
a fighter, that's not a joke, bro, because you are also stepping into the ring, and some people don't come out of it.
That's true.
That's also the truth. You're going to
Yeah.
war for real, 1-on-1, and you're both trained as weapons. Your body's
Yes.
weapons. Your minds are, strategic enough to take this person out. And like you said, if you didn't make the call to tap, then that means that you would have gone out.
yeah, I would have gone out.
That's
like
how
that
close it comes. Yeah.
UFC 300 Wailing when she was fighting that other Chinese chick.
Did
Did you see that? In
I've
UFC
heard about
3,
it.
she was choking this chick out, and 5 seconds to go, the ref lifted her arm, she held it up, and then Brew, when the round was over, the chick got up. I can't remember her name, Yang or something. She got up and she walked to her corner sideways. She was out, Brew. Out. So
That's
it was
crazy.
crazy.
Have you ever been knocked out?
Did they call the fight then?
No, she fought the next round. There was the second round. She fought all 5 rounds.
And she
Brew.
won?
No, she lost. Wailing's obviously the champion, but Yang
Respect,
gave her.
bro, but that's hard, eh?
Yeah. She went
That's
another 3 rounds, bro, after that.
See, that's the thing with me. Like, yeah, It's a hectic joke, man. Flip, I hate it.
Yeah, okay, they're still eating on you now.
Yeah, but
Let it go, bro.
yeah.
Have you
You're
ever,
gonna get the
Yeah,
belt
you're right.
back.
have you
Amen,
ever
brother.
been knocked out?
Actually, when I started training, I was 14 years old. When I told you guys about the kickboxing I done.
Yeah.
Well, I was sparring, but back then they're stupid, bro. They used to train on towels.
Okay.
So, so this guy
Train on tiles.
yeah, like spar on towels, bro. Like this old kickboxing
Oh,
karate
no
gyms.
way.
And the guy caught me with a punch, but I wasn't knocked out from the punch. I slipped and hit my head against the towels. Then I was.
then-
That's the only time ever I've been like
So,
out.
so technically not.
Technically
because
not.
he didn't
no.
hit you
yeah,
out.
Yeah,
The towels
I
actually
slipped
caught you.
and hit my head. Yeah.
And you've obviously knocked people out.
No, I haven't actually.
They never knocked
TKO.
anyone. So
TKO ground and pound.
okay.
Not even in the gym, I never. Yeah.
So most
It's,
of
it's coming.
is yeah, there we go. Next
coming.
fight.
Yeah.
But here's a question I've got for you, because you see it in UFC all the time, right? So do you guys, after the fight, are you guys mates or not?
No, I'm not mates. I don't. No,
No,
well,
but I'm saying with any
Boys
fighters.
war, brother.
No, but I'm saying with any fighters.
well, some of them.
Some of them are
There's been some like there's been, if I think, actually, there's one guy I fought to. I'm like still like not good friends, but friends with. So it's been like 50-50.
Okay.
Like JP Kruger, I'm not his friend, no ways.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'll be honest.
No, it's cool.
I respect him, whatever, as an athlete for getting in there with me, but like one guy I fought, Dino Bagatine, 2 fights ago. I went up to him and we spoke afterwards, you know.
Nice.
And so there are some guys you connect with, some others.
But I
you
love
don't.
seeing that. I don't know if you saw Jose Aldo fight recently.
Yeah.
He came back and
Yeah.
he won, bro. I can't, dude. You must see at 37 years old, this the way the
Respect.
Oak fought
Yeah.
against this up and coming guy that hasn't lost 7 fights.
Yeah.
UFC 301. But after the fight, the young guy was crying because he gave everything, bro. I don't know his name though. He's from America.
Jonathan Martinez. Martinez, yeah.
Maybe. But Jose Aldo sat on the ground with him, held him on his head, and was speaking to him, bro, while he was crying.
Yeah.
But, bro, I literally got goosebumps. That is like, seeing that, I'm like, yo, bruh.
Yeah.
That's
That's deep.
amazing. Yeah. He just sat with him and spoke to him and said, bro,
Yeah.
I'm sure he was saying, don't worry. That's not the end for you, still young. I can envision him saying something like that, but just sat with him, touching his head, talking to him in his ear,
Yeah.
holding him.
Yeah.
No,
No, it's a hectic feeling. Like I mentioned, I can relate when I fought Dino. Like he was like this legend of MMA in EFC. Obviously he's much older now, but like submitting him like that and like sharing that moment with him in the cage.
Yeah.
Like someone who's been around for a while. Even JP Kruger now, you know, like
Yeah.
getting in there with someone more experienced with me. He's like a
What's his age, JP Kruger?
37.
Oh, wow. So he's going to retire soon, basically.
Yeah, 37, yeah. And
Damn, bro.
Dino was like 38, so you know, it's you can feel the experience in the cage, you know.
Which is good for you because
Yeah.
you have a long time to go still.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you have a good 10 years behind you, but
Yes.
a good 10 to go
10
also.
to go, yeah.
Lekker.
Just gotta make it count.
And of course, you must be a fan of the UFC.
Yes,
If you're
yeah,
involved in this game,
yeah.
I mean, that's where every fighter reaches their peak
Yeah.
because of the platform that UFC is.
Yeah.
I won't say that it's the best competition in the world or the best.
Yeah.
You know, it's all different. There's many more as well.
There's
as we know
many
about.
more, yeah, there's good ones.
But UFC definitely helps the fighters to develop a brand strong enough to be very successful
Yes.
on a different level. So, do you see yourself being in the UFC one day?
Amen, I do. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
it's been a rocky road
Yeah.
with EFC. You know, I won the belt and unfortunately never got it again. But I'm not going to give up. You know, I'm not going to give up. So I'm determined, man. It was a childhood dream. So
We're gonna
even
see
if
you
it
there,
takes
bro.
me the next few years, 2-3 years, I'm still only early 30s. You know,
Yeah.
and I've got a lot of experience. I know what to work on. I know what to do. I really believe.
No, I believe you'll get
I
it
can.
back, bro.
Definitely,
100%.
bro.
Amen, brother.
We'll make you a deal on the show. In your UFC fight, we're gonna fly to watch you where it is, the first one. Are we
Amen,
good?
brother. That's powerful.
Let's go. We said it
That's the
live.
deal.
we're on the
I
go.
remember that. I hope you guys are comfortable.
He wants to go with.
Let's go, your baby. Shot, bro.
That's
No,
super
that is my
exciting,
goal,
bro.
you know. And you know, like in this fight, before the fight, I was motivated because obviously it's open up for us now with Drickers. I was motivated to like put on a performance and
Yeah.
and not saying it would be my next fight after this one, but just to get one step closer, you know.
Yeah.
And so
But dude, let's focus on the first round.
yeah.
Let's look at what you did in the first round. That shows your capability. Yes, the fight didn't go your way, bro, but I don't know much about. I've been watching UFC for 2 years. Okay, I don't know much, but bro, watching your skill set in that first round, Bro,
I also
you're
think-
not giving yourself enough credit, bro. I understand it's disappointing. You came, but realize this: you came back from a 2.5 year break. That's long, and you still smashed him and should have won in the first round. Focus on that, dude. I promise you, now you're gonna have that belt sooner than you think, dude.
I also think
Thank
the
you, bro. I
recipe,
appreciate that.
bro,
Thank
the
you.
recipe
I
that
feel
you
Thank
used,
you, bro. I appreciate it so much.
that recipe that you
100%.
used in the first round,
Yeah.
that works for the UFC. Because firstly, that fight would have been
Exciting.
called in the UFC.
Yeah.
The ref would have called it. And secondly, I watched the scouting rounds where Dana White goes to sit and looks at prospects that he
Yeah.
will offer contracts to come to the UFC to
Yeah.
prove themselves. And all the people that he chose were the ones who went in hungry enough to smash the first round. The ones who go in and don't waste time, they
Yeah.
don't play, they don't...
Not to play the safe game.
exactly,
No,
they don't play the safe game.
Kill, be killed.
There we go, bro. Like
Yeah.
Hamzat, we were talking about him also.
See,
That guy
Smash him.
fight twice in one night.
yeah, yes, yeah. No. But thank you guys. That really means a lot to me. You know, it's so motivating to have such great support here
For sure,
in
bro.
Cape Town.
But
you
I,
know.
but I also believe that, like you were saying, for us, we will all agree to this.
Yeah.
We're here to be helped and help. And I think there isn't a mistake that was ordained for you being on here. Like, as much as you are here to be inspired, to inspire people, we're also here to inspire you, because we want you to live out the dreams that you had from a child. You know, and yes, you had the belt once. That's just you gave me something, bro, that was so powerful. I was telling you about something and you said, that's just God giving you a taste of what's to come. So you had the belt.
Yeah.
That's just a taste, bro. A little taste of what is actually in store for you down the line.
Yeah.
And that's and when you shared that with me, I was going through like panic attacks. I was in clinic. I was messed up. Yeah, bro, I was broken. This is like 2.5 years ago.
Really, yeah?
Yeah. I was
think-
just struggling with anxiety, and he just shared that with me, bro. And I hold on to it. I'm like, okay, cool.
And it feels like I really do believe that, actually. As you say that, I feel it feels real. It feels like God's alive and working, you know, especially like you said, after that performance.
Yeah.
Maybe there's just like some lesson in there, you know, what I
You're not
need to
giving
learn.
yourself enough credit, bro.
Yeah.
I think you did so well.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
When I said to you early on, you have this peace, no? It's like a knowing. It's like it's already happened. That's when I'm listening to you speak and the way that you bring it across. I can understand your frustration because in your mind, you know you deserve it and you know you're capable of it.
Yes.
It's just that it's based on the expectation. It's not happening now.
Yes.
And that can eat us up
Yes.
sometimes. But like you said now it's a seed that was planted at the right time so that you can mature and mold into the character that you need to be and the fighter that you need to be. So when you hit the big time, when you hit that world
You're prepared.
championship title, when you have the title, you're prepared and no one can take it away from you then. Because you have it from all aspects, bro. Full package.
Wow.
Are we?
Thank you guys,
Did
man.
we
No,
see solid?
that's powerful. That's powerful. And listen, like you said earlier, there is a reason why we're saying here today for you guys. That really helps a lot.
For
you
sure.
know, I can-
100%, bro.
I feel it, you know, and
Can I ask you this, bro? A quote maybe that you live by, or a message maybe for, you know, the young Luke, the young up-and-coming fighter now who's passionate about fighting, you know, not in the sense of us promoting violence, but appreciating the art of fighting, you know,
Yes.
mixed martial arts as the craft that it is. A young up-and-coming fighter, whether that be MMA, kickboxing, boxing, whatever it may be, what sort of message or quote do you have for that young boy or girl that's coming up?
for with regards to MMA.
Yes.
Okay. The actually one that comes to mind, and I've been like thinking about that a lot as well, because I believe MMA and life is quite similar. You know, we're gonna have ups and downs. You know, you're not gonna win all the time in life.
Yeah.
You know, you're not always not everything's gonna go your way all the time. You can give everything, and you still not get it. You know,
Yeah.
so I believe that adversity introduces the man to himself. You know, and that's a powerful
Sure.
quote I've read before, and I really it does, because even like you guys are mentioning now, like me, perhaps the bigger picture, you know, for my journey, like fixing some things now, so I can perform and keep the belt later on.
Yeah.
It sort of introduced me to myself this last fight and last
Sure, that's so powerful, bro. Honestly.
performance, you know. So I would really give that advice to anyone, and not just like I said for MMA, for life as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Because relationships, you know, even the story you told me off camera, it's amazing, brother. Wow. So respect, you know,
Thanks,
the fact
bro.
that you came back from that, you know,
100%.
it's,
Yeah.
you know, God's working all things for the good.
100%. Would you say that's your greatest gift from fighting? Like what fighting gave you was the journey to actually learn so much about yourself?
Definitely. I don't know where I would have been without it, you know, and that's why I'm extremely grateful for it. As hard as it is, it's given me a sense of purpose and
That's key, bro.
and it's given me values and And now, most recently, it's given me the opportunity to help so many others, which I'm grateful for.
You said something in this season of podcasts, which has stuck with me in it, and something I want to share with you is that you said there's a season to learn and a season to win.
Yeah.
And you went through a season of winning that got you the belt. You might be in a season of learning now, so that, again, I'm just reiterating what I was saying. You might be in a season of learning, so that when you get the belt next time, you keep it for longer. Because there are seasons we can't win all the time.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
It's because I went through a tough time, bro. Honestly, like, for the first half of this year. And I realized that no matter how hard I was working, no matter how much I planned for it and tried to change it, I couldn't change it. And then I had to learn that I can't always be winning all the time. It's not always my turn to shine. Maybe I'm in a season that's preparing me for the win that's coming, but I'm not embracing that season. I need to embrace that now it's time for learning and not winning. And when you start accepting that, you don't have this high expectation of getting the results that you're looking for. Instead, it's almost like things slow down a little bit and you pay attention to, like you said earlier on, the things that I do. I have a beautiful daughter, my partner, things like that.
That's things money can't buy.
Exactly, bro. There's food on the table every day, no matter what. Everyone's sorted.
That's the truth.
So that's
There's
it,
way
bro.
more to life than just one aspect. Yes, it feels like everything, but you
It's
know,
'cause we're so
we got
driven.
family. And that's not a bad thing.
But
you know,
no,
that's
it's not.
That's
Bro,
the best thing.
That's the best thing.
That's the best thing. But like you guys are saying, and I say as well, that we have to appreciate and count our blessings, because a lot of people struggling out there. You know?
Yeah, perspective is key, bro. I mean, you know, if you could just if you can just tweak it a little bit. I mean, there's that principle, biblical principle that says, you may not understand now
what I'm doing,
but afterwards you will. So you might not understand now, but 2, 3, 4 months, 6 months down the line, you look back and you're like, I see, I get it.
So and that's one of my close friends told me the same thing after the fight. Is like, we never knew what the reason was after your injury. But then the reason actually became, I do believe that I got the opportunity to open up the gym, because I wouldn't have opened it up if I never got injured. I would have still been competing and too busy. And now he said, you know, we might not know the reason now why this fight never went your way, but we will know it in future. And, you know, I'm holding on to that, and I do believe that.
For sure.
And like you guys said as well, just hold on to, you know, the performance and...
let's talk about your business a bit, bro, because I'm an entrepreneur. I'm very passionate about business. And I really love that you are just running your own ship at the end of the day. So tell us about the business. You know, where can people find the business? What sort of classes do you guys offer? Things like that. Let's plug the business.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it, man. So it's called the Performance Institute, powered by World Sports Betting in Pardon Island. I don't know, most people in Cape Town know we rent the cheapies. So I'm above there. So nice. We have a coffee shop. We have a full-on gym with like treadmills, like cycling machines, air bikes, and then we got the mat section as well, where we do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, boxing. And we actually have a recovery room as well, ice bath. And I'm trying to get a sauna as well in there. So we're trying to really like live up to the name, the Performance Institute, you know. Just people come through, have a good workout. So we offer like boxing training, kickboxing, offer jiu-jitsu.
That's one-on-one and groups,
Yes, so I have one-on-ones with myself and some other trainers and groups. And then we have the gym section where I have personal trainers and myself taking clients with just like general weight training and cardio and stuff, you know.
Nice.
And then, so I try to mix it up between the martial arts aspect and then just a normal gym component as well. And having both together, trying to build a unique concept, you know.
Nice. And you cater for people from all walks of life.
Yes.
People who are newcomers wanting to learn about the sport.
Yes.
And then also athletes who want to further the development and so on.
Yes. Because there are some people who just want to come there, have a good workout and box, you know. Then they don't want to get hit in the face or do boxing, you know. But there are some who want to. So I cater for both, you know. But it's all about just having fun.
Nice.
You know, having fun and getting a good workout in.
Yeah.
And then for myself as well, I'm blessed to be able to prepare in there as well with a world-class facility, you know, have good equipment and
fantastic.
And just
I was actually saying to my wife this morning, I was saying to her, you know, since coming to know about UFC, mixed martial arts, all that stuff, I was actually saying to her that I honestly, if I had my life over and I was young, I would definitely go for it full out like you did. Maybe I don't become a pro, but I would definitely give it stick. I reckon if when I lost my rugby and went to Abbott's, if I'd got into MMA then, I probably wouldn't have been involved in gangs, drugs. I reckon MMA would have saved my life, bro. Because when I watch it, I'm like, it connects with my soul, bro.
Yeah.
I'm there. You understand what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
You
yeah.
both
You
know.
resonate to it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, I can probably say that fighting
Yeah.
saved your life in a sense
I can definitely agree with that. You know,
on many levels.
on many levels, because I never really. It's not that fighting is my identity, but I never had, and I was struggling with it as a teenager. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
and it sort of formed and shaped me into the man I am now.
Yeah.
And I'm extremely grateful for that. And who knows which path I would have taken. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we live in a world where temptation is so easy, and but MMA is I've always come back to training, and I wanting to be better. You know.
What did Nelson Mandela say about sports?
Yeah, he
Sorry.
said sports has the power to change the world. In his quote, it gives people hope where there is despair.
Yeah.
He literally said it in a speech. He said
that's powerful.
sport has the power to change the entire world. Because of what it does for people.
Bro, I want to say something. You actually look a bit like Michael Bisping. You know Michael Bisping?
the
Yeah,
commentator.
you guys look similar.
Lekker.
No.
He
yeah,
was
the
a beast,
commentator.
eh?
Bro, you guys look similar. Don't you guys think?
I'll take it, bro. I'll take it.
Yeah,
Take
bro.
it.
I just
Yeah,
thought
bro.
about it now when you said you would have done it.
Now, I have a great passion for fighting as
Yeah.
well and a great respect. But I think I did run my course, the dancing. I actually wouldn't choose any differently.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed dancing very much. I still enjoy it today. And if I had to choose from over, I'd probably choose the same thing. Because it did for me what it did for you.
Amen.
You know what
And
I'm
that's
saying?
how-
It's
yeah.
what we found. It filled the gap. And it
Filled the gap,
also...
yeah.
It gave me so much internal joy.
Yeah.
If I think about dance, the light that we bring into the room when we perform and the light that you experience while you're dancing,
Yeah.
I don't think you can put a price on that, bro.
Yeah.
To be honest, I actually wish that we didn't live in a world where there was money and you had to pay for things because then that dream would have been so much easier to
Exactly.
pursue. But as a man, in this world, when you're raising a kid and you have a family to look after, you have to make decisions other than the decisions that will benefit you and you alone.
You have to.
So-
and it comes a chapter in life where you have to do that. When you're younger, it's different.
Yeah.
You know?
Then you can run your race. Yeah, go
but
crazy.
if that's your choice, and it's a
Yeah.
lot of people's choices, then you have to sort of make sacrifices.
For
and,
sure, dude.
And
For
go
sure.
towards it.
There's that book from that Wild at Heart by John Ulrich.
Yeah.
And he talks about the man. And he says the man has three parts. The man is in search for beauty, battle, and adventure. And I identify with that a lot because when the rugby was taken away from me, I was looking for beauty, battle, and adventure all in the wrong places.
Yeah.
That's why I said that if I'd known about MMA, that would have filled all the aspects. And when I say beauty, I don't mean a girl.
No, of
the
course.
beauty of life,
Yeah.
the adventure, the battle, the being in the cage, the training for a fight. All that like speaks to the makeup of a man.
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, man, big
powerful.
ups for you, bro.
I also think that a lot of
you,
people
bro.
are stuck with a lot of anger,
Yeah.
a lot of frustration, and when
Hurt,
you
trauma.
yes,
Yeah.
when you learn about fighting in the way that you've learned about it as a technique, as an art form,
Discipline.
to be disciplined, it almost removes the violent element of
Yeah.
it because it's now a discipline,
Yes.
and you treat it with respect, and it's a
Yes.
profession and so on. So it also helps the perspective shift of fighting, being angry, and being more reactive than responsive.
Yes.
But if you, like I was chatting to Gideon also, we were having a good laugh. He said, now that he's trained in the sport, he wouldn't even entertain someone who was trying to fight him
Yeah,
because
no
you
way.
laugh it off.
What's
It's
the
like
point?
you don't even know what
Exactly.
you're getting yourself into.
No, exactly.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
I think that's beautiful because, like you said, you looked for things in the wrong situations,
Yeah.
and you were taking a different route with it. But if you had that discipline and understanding,
For sure.
it would have kept you more on track.
100%.
And
Yeah.
I like that, bro.
No, I agree, and I like to define myself as a martial artist,
Mm.
not a fighter. Someone always seeking to improve myself,
Yeah.
to improve my skill set and myself as a man.
But you would never, and this is a compliment.
Yeah.
You would never say, if I didn't know you fought,
Yeah.
meeting you, I would never say you're a fighter in a
Yeah.
sense where you're peaceful, you're calm, you're a chilled guy, you lekker to
Thank
chat
you.
to.
Yeah.
No, but I'm
Humble,
saying I
humble.
wouldn't want to meet you in the street and have an accident and start tuning you, not knowing you're a fighter. I might find myself in the hospital for a couple of months, bro.
Hey,
Bro, we had Raal on the show also from Expresso.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
From
Yeah,
Expresso.
I've done a show with him.
Yes,
before, yeah.
we watched your clip also
Yeah.
where you were
Self-defense.
teaching him some
Yeah,
self-defense, bro. I was having such a lekker
Wow,
laugh.
he was on here.
Yes, he was on the show as well, yeah.
Wow.
And because he's also very strong.
Yeah,
you know.
he's looks in great shape.
Look
Sure.
after his body and
Yeah, he
everything.
looks after his body.
But you
nicely.
could just see size-wise by the ways you guys were doing your thing, you know, like the power that you have and the technique. Nah, it was cool to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
though,
yeah, yeah.
because he's also a solid
Yeah,
bruh.
no, he's rock solid. Yeah.
And the things you were teaching him, he was saying, like, one of the comments he made was you took him off his balance and he didn't have, you know, an option. I think it was when you hold
went
him like
over,
this,
yeah.
over and elbow to it. That was so dope.
And
bro.
he's got strong core, hey?
No, he does. you
Strong,
can
bro.
see, yes,
Lifesaver,
he's ripped,
all that stuff.
He's
Yeah.
not a
Straight at that
joker.
guy.
Yeah,
I
bro.
want to look like that actually.
But bro,
Yes.
we normally ask our guests, you know, what's your goal going forward? But you've told us now already that your next fight that's coming up now, you're still going for that title. You know, that's it.
100%.
And UFC is definitely
Amen.
on the cards going forward.
Thank
and
you.
I think traits wise, we normally ask people, you know, what are 3 traits you can share? But you've shared so much today already, you know, about how you find discipline in what you do and so many different other things. I just want to ask you just one more thing is a message for the people out there. You've given a message to the younger fighter, just a message for the people out there. Anything that brings you happiness, brings you joy, brings you success day to day, something that you live by.
You know, I really believe in this day and age and world we live in, a lot of people are struggling with mental health.
Yeah.
You know, depression, anxiety, you know, just on like maybe on the wrong track as well in life.
Yeah.
I just want to encourage everyone to stay true to who they are. You know, I believe like that God is my true rock and my foundation, and He's the truth, the way, and the life. And actually, this is a message I want to share after my fight.
Amen.
I wanted to have the opportunity, so I'm grateful for this now.
Yeah.
That I have this opportunity. But anyone struggling out there, just know that God's alive and real, and lean on Him, not your own understanding.
Amen.
And you'll find your true path. You know, it's not easy.
Beautiful.
But keep going. Keep getting up every day. Keep putting Him first on your list. And keep showing up, you know, and I do believe things will get better.
Amazing. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Before we close off, Jared got a special question for you.
I know you're probably new to the gibbets, right? But if you could choose any one of these things, you can make up one too. If you could be any gibbet, what would you be and why?
If I could be a Joe with myself.
Yeah. So
Or you can choose one.
you can choose one, or you can
What's
make
the
up
options?
one.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many, dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can make up one if you want.
Okay, make up one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can design your own one in your
A
mind.
UFC glove.
Okay.
Lekker. Like it.
Let's go, baby.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Lekker.
I think that's so
Bro.
important, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I just want to close off and say a big thank you from us to you.
Big
Thank you. Thank you from the people watching also, because I know they
Yes.
appreciate this episode and you've inspired many today. Thank you for your dreams. Thank you for coming back from injuries and not quitting. Thank you for the Performance Institute. I'm looking forward to coming to pop in
Please,
there and
brother.
taking a few
Please, guys,
classes,
please.
bro. And just thank you for your dreams and not giving up. And we just wish you well on the journey ahead. And just know that we back you and support you. And we'll see you at your next fight, bro.
Guys, it's an honor to be here, honestly, to have this opportunity to talk, and such a great platform with great people, great energy.
Have it.
It's been honestly phenomenal. Great way to get this week started, you know. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate
Awesome,
you.
bro.
God
True
bless
champion.
you guys. Thank you.
We got Luke, Young Gun, Michael. I don't know if it's going to be Luke
First round.
Yeah. Let's see.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks, guys. That was powerful.
Thanks,
you.
brother. Guys, this was an amazing episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on that notification, comment below, and Blake's going to tell you now how you can win 3 pairs of Crocs for each individual that loves us and supports us.
There we go, guys. As he said, just show some love. We're looking for the most enthusiastic people. 3 people we're going to choose. All you're doing is you're sharing on Instagram, TikTok, you know, tag us in there. We'll notice you. 3 winners of a new pair of Crocs. Other than that, super dope episode. Very exciting stuff. One of our own gladiators on the show. Other than that, guys, we'll see you guys at the next episode of the Catch Up Podcast. Cheers.
Peace.